Hey, amazing first graders, and welcome to Thinking Thursday. We are still reading Magic Treehouse, Sunset of the Sabertooth by Mary Pope Osborne. We're going to read chapter 6 today. If you remember, at the end of chapter 5, Jack and Annie had just kind of left the cave because they cannot find Peanut. And as they left the cave, they saw tiny footprints in the snow. Okay, so just make some predictions as to what you think is going to happen. This is chapter 6, Song on the Wind. Peanut's tracks, said Annie. We have to find her before she freezes. She wrapped her reindeer coat around her and headed across the snow. Jack pulled on his backpack and followed. The mouse tracks led them between the fallen rocks and back onto the open plain. The wind blew harder. Snow swirled over the ground, covering the tiny footprints. I can't see him anymore, wailed Annie. She and Jack now stood in the middle of the plain. They stared at the windswept snow. The mouse's tracks had vanished. Yikes, whispered Annie. And staring up, Jack followed her gaze. On one of the cliffs was a tiger, a giant tiger with two long, sharp fangs. A saber-tooth, said Jack. I hope he doesn't see us, whispered Annie. Me too, Jack whispered back. We better head back to the treehouse. Jack and Annie stepped very softly across the snow. Then Jack glanced back at the cliff. The saber-tooth was gone. Oh, man, he said. Where is he? Run to the tree, said Annie. He and Annie started running. They ran over the snowy plain, headed toward the tall, bare trees in the distance. Suddenly, Jack heard a crack. The ground caved in, and Jack went with it. Annie fell beside him. They crashed down into a heap of branches, snow, and earth. They struggled to stand. Jack pushed his glasses in place. Are you all right? He asked Annie. Yes, he said. They both looked up. They were in a deep hole. All Jack could see were gray clouds moving overhead. This is a trap, said Jack. The Cro-Magnons must have put branches over this hole. Then the snow hid the branches, so we didn't see them. There's no way out, said Annie. She was right. They were helpless. The pit was too deep to climb out of. I feel like a trapped animal, Annie said. Me too, said Jack. He heard a howl in the distance. The saber-tooth, whispered Annie. Jack pulled out the Ice Age book. He found a picture of the saber-tooth. He read, the saber-tooth was the fiercest beast in the Ice Age. It attacked humans as well as woolly mammoths and other large animals. Oh, brother, said Jack. Listen. Annie grabbed him. What? Jack jumped. I hear music. Jack listened, but all he heard was wind. Do you hear it? Said Annie. No, said Jack. Listen carefully. He closed his eyes and listened very carefully. He heard the wind, but this time he heard another sound too. Strange, haunting music. Ah, cried Annie. Jack opened his eyes. Staring down at them was a figure wearing reindeer antlers and an owl mask. The sorcerer, whispered Jack. Squeak! Peanut peered at them too. And that is the end of chapter 6. What did you notice? What do you wonder? Cannot wait for chapter 7. Bye.